Thanks for tuning into another episode of Quik Reaction TV. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
If you think about it, chickens are kind of like the gateway drug to conspiracy theories. So Quik. I think if you get chickens, you ultimately will become a conspiracy theorist. And here's the reason why I say that. Because you're going to get chickens, right? You're going to love having chickens. You're going to taste the eggs and you're going to recognize, like the one I just grabbed, thank you, right here. You're going to realize that they taste different. So you're going to start looking into, why do they taste different? Why do they look different? Why is the yolk darker? And then you're going to do that and you're going to realize that it's because they're not factory farmed. Then you're going to realize what factory farmed eggs look like. And then you're going to look at other foods. What happens when you look at the other foods? You're going to start baking your own sourdough because you realize, oh, bread has terrible preservatives in it. It's terrible for you. There's a million ingredients. So then you're going to be a sourdough person. And then you're going to be a garden person. Okay, which means you're going to try to separate yourself from the food system a little bit. After you do that, you're going to realize some of the medicinal properties in food and in your garden, like garlic and honey and all of those things. And then you're going to start feeling a little skeptical about the pharmaceutical world. And ultimately, what I'm saying is if you go to Tractor Supply, look at all the cute little chicks, just realize you will ultimately become a conspiracy theorist if you do so. But the eggs are good.
Gotta catch this stray. That's tough. She should have wore a vest. I gotta leave her on 1 HP.
While he's trying to smoke heroin, which to my knowledge, he's never done before, and I didn't know how to help him, so it was just madness.
Matthew Perry's death certificate has been released by the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health following his passing October 28th.
There were 5 people put on an ECMO machine that night, and the other 4 died, and I survived. So the big question is, why? Why was I the one that survived? There has to be some kind of reason.
Matthew Perry's ex-girlfriend, Katie Edwards, is making some pretty serious allegations about Matthew's mysterious death, and she claims that Matthew didn't drown in his jacuzzi like the police initially claimed. Katie also revealed what message Matthew was trying to send in his last few Instagram posts, which all referenced water and Batman. And since Matthew was found dead in a jacuzzi next to a huge Batman sign lit up in red lights, Katie is convinced that his IG posts may hide clues to how he really died.
Okay.
Saying there was no parallax. There actually is proven parallax that you see here. So that's pretty incredible here, that when you see this. Now let's watch it again. We see our orbs. We see them spinning. Look at this there's definitely purpose here. We can see this mouse here moving around. And now the orientation changes, like they're getting ready for something here. It changes right here and they go vertical. And now they're spinning vertically slightly at an angle. And our drone is somewhere right off the screen over here. Now here it comes. The zap. You see that illumination? Accurately illuminate the clouds? We think that's explained by the particles in the area becoming energized. The leaker moves the video over to the right. Again, we think this is like a Google Earth video playback. And then they close the screen recording. They just close out the screen recording. Now let's look at the other one. Now here's the thermal. So now we're looking at it from the other angle. So that first one was from outer space, looking down, not looking up. And this one now is at a side angle with this MQ-1C. We can see the drone. I mean, we can see it. We can see this high-quality clouds as well. We can tell somebody's manually tracking it. We can see the smoke. We can see the orbs show up. And here you can see these orbs are perfectly spherical. It's not a metal ball. This is some kind of field around something much smaller. You see these lines in front of it? These lines are in front of the orbs. They're pulling the orbs forward almost, right? Or better explanations, they're creating their own gravity, their own geodesics. You can see the heat signature on the orbs spinning around on their axis. We can see it goes out of field, so like this is one of the pieces of evidence too that it's real as well. Because if this was fake, you're going to keep the plane in focus. You're not going to have the plane go out of focus. This is because somebody's manually tracking it. They're not using automatic tracking. Then they zoom in. They want to get a really good clear shot. And then right before the zap, they zoom out because they know exactly what's about to happen. And then right here, you're going to see these orbs, the monopoles are going to turn towards the middle, and the orbs are going to converge on the plane. And then the zap happens. So if you fake this, you have to have a better understanding of physics than the experts, because I've got experts telling me this is exactly what this kind of thing should look like. So some kind of faker is like a master PhD of physics and mathematics to create these perfect patterns. Look at that. You see that? Watch the super slow-mo here. The orbs actually bend in the last frame because we think they're creating a field here. Gravitational lensing. You can watch the orbs spin. And they converge. Look at that converging. The orbs are spinning and they're going to converge these monopoles. And then right in that last frame there, it blurs. Oh crap, I can't get it. It blurs in the last frame. And that's an indication that this plane is accelerating. Maybe even accelerating to the speed of light. So pretty wild videos, right?
You got me.
This might be the reasons why it's illegal to go to the Antarctica tropical area. No one would expect an area of tropical weather and rainforest in the Antarctica. And here's another reason. Land of the ancient race of super beings with big angular heads. Legend has it that some of them tried to leave many years ago and made it to Easter Island, where their enormous weight made them sink into the ground. And here's a leaked photo of one of these creatures just walking around on Antarctica. That is a big head. And here's another reason. They say pyramids was found in Antarctica. And here's a photo of how the pyramid looks in Antarctica. So what you think, guys? You think everything I just showed you is a conspiracy and it's fake? Or do you think it's real? Let me know in the comments below. Peace and get woke.
Birthday doesn't just tell you when you were born, it also tells you why you were born. All you have to do is add the numbers up in your birthday together, reduce it down to one number, and you get your life path number. This is how you find out what your number is. Screenshot this if you need to. Your life path number is your soul's purpose. It tells you everything about your soul, and remember, you are the soul. If you get a reading from me, I can tell you exactly what your soul's purpose is, plus much more. But I'll say this right now, if you're a life path 9 like me, then you're a very old soul and you have the ability to relate to every other number. If you're a life path 1, you're the initiator and you have the ability to put things into direction. If you're an 8, you're very heroic and you're good at networking. Like and follow me for more numerology. One love.
My nigga.
What was Iraq actually hiding? There's a theory that the U.S. stayed in Iraq for over a decade after it was liberated, not because of oil, but something way more powerful. In the 1920s, a British explorer discovered what was rumored to be the oldest known stargate in the world, a device that's essentially able to take people across interstellar distances instantly. It was located at what is known today as the Great Ziggurat. However, in the 1980s, Saddam Hussein fortified the ancient complex in an attempt to keep explorers from seeing what was hidden inside. Furthermore, strange ancient technology has been seen coming out of the Great Ziggurat, rumored to have come through the Stargate from an ancient civilization now living on the hidden planet, Nibiru. People who have come out and spoken about these strange devices and coincidentally went missing soon after, with many more people in recent times coming forward, claiming to have been involved in classified programs in Iraq where Stargate technology was used. Many people are wondering.
The Illuminati was formed in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. Now, this is something that people need to know. The Illuminati wasn't here since the very beginning of time. Only the concepts were here since the beginning of time, but they took them and fine-tuned them. Famous alleged members, Barack Obama, Jay-Z, Madonna. Now, this is all fake. But I want people to know, when you see stuff like this, and I put it up here on purpose, because I want you to know, when you see these names up here on this Illuminati list, first of all, the Illuminati is a very small size group of people, 5 or 6 people at the very, very top of the pyramid. Then you have about another maybe 100 people underneath that. But these people are extremely, extremely elite people that maneuver in ways in the darkness. And they are not people like Jay-Z, Barack Obama, and Beyonce and Dame Dash and myself and all those other kind of. I've been called the clone, I've been called the Illuminati. Remember everything else. It's a good old boys club, and there's not a lot of minorities in it at all. I don't think there's any minorities in it, pretty much. The people who are in the Illuminati, at the very top of that food chain, you'll probably never meet them. You never know who they are. A lot of them are just behind the scenes, hiding in the shadows. And it's not famous people in the front street. Now, do they utilize the potential of people that are already in existence that have power over genres of people? Yes, of course.
We got a late night emergency alert, breaking news on the World War III front for you tonight. A story that is developing in St. Petersburg, Russia. A sub-district in St. Petersburg is completely blacked out. 100,000 people are without power. And because there's no power to the water pumps, so the pumps can't pump water. Apparently, this is what witnesses are saying now. No power, no water for 100,000 people in St. Petersburg. Now, power outages happen, but what's more interesting is what the eyewitnesses claim happened about half an hour before this event occurred. They claim that they seen flashes in the sky and accompanied by loud explosions. And then about a half an hour later, there's conflicting reports. Some say 15 minutes, some say an hour. After those explosions and flashes in the sky, there was this massive power outage in and around St. Petersburg.
The big blackout, if I'm not mistaken, happens in December 2052. Basically, everything goes dark for upwards to 5 years. The internet, the power, it all gets disconnected. But many speculate otherwise. Anyway, 5 years, it's turmoil, riots, you name it. It's pretty much one of the worst of times. It takes them upwards to 20 years to get the power back online.
This is sound going on in Nampa right now.
It was way louder a second ago, too.
It's just stationary. So it's not anything bad.
I mean, it sounds like a jet flew overhead.
But it's not going anywhere.
It sounds like a heating vent, like the heating vent.
Leave that dope alone.
He
need to leave that dope alone.
Glitch in the Matrix. Only the little one is mine.
So I did my sister's nails yesterday and I got a new primer, and today while we were cleaning she found this nail on the floor, and we figured that my primer that I used yesterday was probably just not a good primer, and we checked and she has both her thumbs on, and I've never done this style ever before.
I guess they weren't lying on those flex tape bags.
Can someone explain what's going on here?
We are witnessing that today. The other value of technology, I will point out, was after a round of intense finishing conversations and negotiations over the weekend that started on Saturday morning with the speaker and myself and the trade rep, Robert Lighthizer. We went back and Mr. Trump, the speaker, was on a hunting expedition. We spoke with him frequently. But the speaker talked to me earnestly about we're near. And on Sunday, when Tom Brady was about to take it in, all of a sudden I looked at my phone and said Pelosi for caller ID. Long wisdom tells me, the hell with Brady, take the call.
I was watching Baltimore and...
This is a transformative agreement. It's a template, I believe, for future agreements. Our constant emphasis was on enforceability. We fixed that. And the idea and the notion that the president of the AFL-CIO, Rich Trumka, would be supportive of this initiative, I think, tells the story. But this is more than a triumph for organized labor. It's a triumph for workers everywhere across America. In terms of the working group members, I want to say that they strengthened the labor standards.
CIA believes that Turkey is where Magog is, and of course, they also believe it is the seat of Satan. Well, I decided to really dig deeper into that subject, and I have really uncovered a lot of fascinating things on the subject of Gog-Magog. And of course, I already knew that Magog was, of course, even based on the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Genesis book that we have in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it does put Magog in modern-day Turkey. And of course, in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, we get this is also where Satan's seat is. And of course, we know that Pergamum, or the churches of Asia Minor, were all in modern-day Turkey. So it is very interesting. And then I also, another thing that was shared with me is one of the devastating reasons for the earthquakes, so much of a high death toll inside of Turkey, not just the fact that the buildings are built substandard to that of the U.S., but also because of all the tunnels that are underneath the ground beneath these buildings here. Tunnels, as they call them, that are pre-human. When I say pre-human, we're talking about, as it was told to me, believed to be dug by reptilians.
Oh, man. Damn.